And this week's series of arrests involving suspects in the infamous Free State asbestos project has been hailed as a step in the right direction in efforts to combat corruption. The Asset Forfeiture Unit has already moved to attach 300 million rand in suspected proceeds of crime. Earlier today, the suspects were ordered to hand over their passports and will return to court in November. For more on the story, I'm now joined by reporter Dumalo Mhlaudi, who has been watching those developments very closely throughout the day. Dumalo, certainly has been a very busy week for law enforcement authorities. What did the accused have to tell the court in a bid to secure their bail?
Well, Bongiwe, the accused, in a bid to secure the bail, had several things to tell the court. Amongst them is the fact that they are not flight risks. In fact, one of the accused had not issued the court with his passport at the time that he appeared in court, and that was Ntimutse Mokgesi. And Mr. Mokgesi's legal team then conferred to the court that indeed his passport is somewhere at home in Vanderbijl Park, and it will be given to the court in due course as early as Monday, meaning that his bail will then be granted. So the other accused, of course, pleaded poverty, saying that they could not afford to raise the amounts that were put out in terms of the court's setting of the bail, saying that they would appeal to the court to reduce their bail application, to their bail amount rather, so that they could then be released. And of course the magistrate then retorted, saying that the amounts that are alleged to have been siphoned off in that asbestos removal or clearing scheme are in the hundreds of millions, and he does not see why the accused would want bail reduced. Of course, there was only one of the accused that had made that application, and his legal team argued that he did not necessarily have the means. The magistrate then asked how much he could afford, and they said that he could afford upwards of 50,000 rand bail, which was then subsequently granted by the court. However, the main man, if I could use that analogy in this particular matter, Mr. Edward Sodi, who is seen as the mastermind of that asbestos removal project, whereby payments were made to service providers before any work was done. I think it is referred to as the asbestos removal project because that's what it was initially entailed to be all about, but it never ever took off, never got the work done. So he has been released on the most expensive bail of all. He would then be released on 100,000 rand, 500,000 rand bail, I beg your pardon, 500,000 rand bail. That's 500,000 rand, which he has to post in order to secure his freedom. As far as the bail goes as well, Bongo, it's interesting to note that initially, before the court appearance, it was highlighted that the NPA believed that it was, the right thing for bail to be opposed, and that they were hoping that the magistrate would oppose bail. But then when he didn't, they said that, the matter is still serious, and they do, admit that the bail being granted has disappointed them. However, they said that they do understand it is at the court's prerogative, and that the reason put forward by the magistrate that the suspects' passports have been seized or be handed in before they granted bail would be enough to ensure that they won't pose a flight risk.
And Dumaula, of course, while all of this was taking place inside court, and these different arguments really being made by various parties, there was also quite a political fallout that in itself was happening outside court.
Absolutely, a political fallout and a show of force, if you will, Bongiwe. Outside court here, supporters of the former Human Settlements MEC and former Mayor Mantwa Mlamuleli were out in full force, and in their view, they were here to make their voices heard, saying that the fact that Mantwa Mlamuleli has appeared as one of the suspects in this matter is nothing more than a political witch hunt. They are saying that the case is politically motivated because she is seen as an ally of a former Free State Premier, Isma Khashule. They are saying that this is all a political conspiracy to ensure that those who are linked to Mr. Magashule are then frustrated by court processes such as this one, which they feel are undue. I put the question bluntly to them to say, but there is still the matter of the asbestos project that never got off the ground, and the millions that were, issued out before any work was done under her watch when she was mayor. They basically turned and scoffed at that and saying that the timing is very suspicious because it's taken this long. Why has it taken this long? Why is it only happening at this time? And clearly they are sticking by their guns despite what the court has said and despite the very serious charges, including money laundering, that the suspects that appeared before court face.
And Dumole, I mean, when you look at all of this, so all the arrests that have been made, all the arguments made in court, people releasing statement, a short while ago, Dr. Zweli Mkhize releasing his own very statement, clearing his name. One really, sees what is happening really at a political level here, at a legal level and all of that. But at the heart of this, the people of the Free State still have asbestos in their homes.
Absolutely, Bongiwe, and that's really the heartbreaking part of it all, that the people who are supposed to be beneficiaries of a really great government initiative to clear their homes of this health hazardous material are still waiting. They are saying that they are happy on one hand that the long arm of the law has finally reached out and brought those who are implicated in this controversy to stand before court to answer for their crimes. But on the other hand, they are saying that it will all mean nothing if the monies cannot be recouped, if the processes which that money which had been misappropriated was meant for are not undertaken, and asbestos is not cleared. One man that I managed to speak to in the community was saying, look, we are sick. And this is the destiny that is even awaiting our children and their children if this matter is not cleared, because asbestos has affected my lungs, is what one gentleman said to me. And he says that he does not see anything that is worthy of calling a future for his offspring if this matter is not brought to fruition or is not brought full circle and the asbestos is removed. So while we're seeing the wheels of justice turning on one end, the people on the ground are saying that true restorative justice is what they're looking for, so that the service delivery or the intended service delivery can indeed be issued out to them.